I am excited. I am energized. I am ready for Life Class with our very special guest. He's been called the voice of hope, a pastor for a new generation, Houston's own Joel Osteen. A few months ago, I saw one of his sermons called I Am, and I said, now that is a Life Class.
Have you heard about the largest church in the world? The first service was March 3rd, 2008, with an attendance of over 300,000. The attendance is now over 2 million, and they conducted the first ever mass trance on March 17, 2008. What do they teach? Who you are requires no belief. Heaven is not a location, but refers to the inner realm of consciousness. The man on the cross is an archetypal image. He is every man and every woman. The leader's website teaches these lessons. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. My holiness is my salvation. My salvation comes from me. Let me remember that there is no sin. Do not make the pathetic error of, quote, clinging to the old rugged cross, unquote. The only message of the crucifixion is that you can overcome the cross. Have you heard of this church? Or maybe its leader? Years ago, she denied Jesus is the only way.
One of the mistakes that human beings make is believing that there is only one way to live, and that we don't accept that there are diverse ways of being in the world, that there are millions of ways to be a human being, and many ways, but many paths to what you call God. And her path might be something else, and when she gets there, she might call it the light. But her loving and her kindness and her generosity brings her, if it brings her to the same point that it brings you, it doesn't matter whether she called it God along the way or not.
And I guess the danger that could be in that, I mean, it sounds great on the onset, but if you really look at both sides,
there couldn't possibly be just one way. What about Jesus? What about Jesus?
Even brings them up in the whole discussion, and you say there isn't only one way. There is one way and only one way, and that is through Jesus.
There couldn't possibly be with the millions of people in the world.
Today she has turned her millions of adoring fans over to New Age doctrine. Christians are letting this into their homes and are being deceived.
And this great minister was preaching about how great God was and how omniscient and omnipresent and God is everything. And then he said, and the Lord thy God is a jealous God. And I was, caught up in the rapture of that moment until he said jealous. And something struck me. And I was like, I think about 27 or 28. I was thinking, God is all, God is omnipresent, God is all, and God's also jealous. And I love this quote that Eckhart has. This is one of my favorite quotes in chapter 1, where he says, man made God in his own image.
I am blessed. I am strong. I am talented. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am prosperous.
Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable, and poor and blind and naked.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am attractive. I am getting younger. You talk like that, and God will renew your youth.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Your future is filled with marked moments of blessing, increase, promotion. God has already ordained before the foundation of the world the right people, the right opportunity, time and chance are coming together for you. Why don't you get your hopes up? Why don't you start believing that no matter what you have or haven't done, that your best days are still out in front of you?
A few weeks ago, there was an event here at Dodger Stadium with Joel Osteen.
He's the greatest. He's going to let you know what it's going to take to live a wonderful life. So God bless all of you, and don't forget, if you don't pull for the Dodgers, you may not get into heaven.
35,000 people at Dodger Stadium, something like that. He is now the largest quote-unquote church, I'm using the word loosely, in America, down in Houston. You need to understand that he is a pagan religionist in every sense. He's a quasi-pantheist. Jesus is a footnote that satisfies his critics and deceives his followers.
What if you slept? And what if in your sleep you dreamed? And what if in your dream you went to heaven and there picked a strange and wonderful flower? And what if, when you awoke, you held that flower in your hand? Ah, what then? Do you believe that it's possible to bring something from the world of the formless, from the world of a dream, into the world of the physical? Who am I? Who are you that never changes? Who you are is that soul that I spoke about a few moments ago. That soul that says, I want to expand. I want to be free. I want to go to a place where I understand that who I am is birthless, deathless, changeless.
From the beginning, humanity has yearned to understand itself and its relationship with its Creator. In the days of Moses, the Creator was known as the God of our forefathers, or the God of Abraham, but there was no real name for the divine creative presence. Moses, who was just a poor shepherd, came upon a burning bush, and yet the fire did not consume the bush. A voice spoke to him, saying that he must go unto the Pharaoh Ramses and demand the release of the Israelite slaves. When Moses asked who he should say sent him, God said, I am that I am. For the first time in history, God had a name. Armed with the power of God's name, I am that I am, Moses produced some of the greatest miracles of the Bible.
Moses used the power of I Am to produce some of the greatest miracles in the Bible. In the year 2000, in his best-selling book, How to Know God, Deepak Chopra said that the I Am is how we achieve self-realization. In 2005, James Twyman wrote a book called The Moses Code, and then in 2008 he produced a movie in which he described the I Am as the most powerful force in the universe. Beloved teachers such as Debbie Ford, Michael Beckwith, Neil Donald Walsh, and Iyanla Vanzant were in the movie, and each of them celebrated the power of I Am. At about the same time, Tony Robbins created a powerful incantation called Now I Am the Voice, which has since become one of the most popular and memorable parts of his Unleash the Power Within seminars. A few years later, Pastor Joyce Meyer wrote a best-selling book called Power Thoughts, in which she frequently invoked the I Am. And then, in 2011, Pastor Joel Osteen delivered an influential sermon called The Power of I Am. And then, followers of the Buddhist Thich Nhat Hanh started applying their I Ams to their spiritual practice. And then, in 2012, a year later, Oprah Winfrey flew down to Texas to interview Joel Osteen, and she even gave a life class on the power of I Am. Wayne Dyer wrote a best-selling book called Wishes Fulfilled, in which he showed how your I Am is the most powerful aspect of yourself, and that repeatedly saying your I Ams is how you become one with your Creator and realize your true potential. In 2013, Rabbi Michael Bernstein wrote about the power of I Am in the Huffington Post. The neuroscientist Jill Bolte Taylor gave a TED Talk in which she celebrated the power of her I Am. Just in the past few years, psychiatrists, psychologists, neuroscientists, healers, and business people have written about how the I Am can transform your brain chemistry, hormones, moods, and even your health. The I Am is emerging in our culture. Your I am is the bread of life. Your I am is the light of the world. But why has there been a sudden resurgence of interest in the I am?
And now, here is your host, Kev Baker.
We're hearing everyone say, Je suis Charlie, I am Charlie. We're going to lay out the full story of this French fiasco.
No, when you start delving into the realm of conspiracy, there seems to be a pattern that always pops up with these major events. Whenever there's evidence suggesting that it could be a false flag perpetrated by the government, colluding with media and corporations, there's always this pattern. It's called predictive programming. And it consists of, well, telling you what they're going to do before they actually do it. It's a form of lesser magic. They believe that if they tell you that they're about to do it, it gives them not only the right to do it, but it gives them more power to do it on a spiritual, esoteric level. It's about subconsciously controlling you and also throwing it in your face after they complete the task, saying, hey, we told you. And of course, this is all on a spiritual level, subconscious level, okay? It's called lesser magic. It's a philosophy they believe in. So what do we have here with this Charlie Hebdo incident happening Wednesday, January 7th? Well, murdered French cartoonist Charb predicted attack in chilling cartoon. And this article was published today out of the Huffington Post. All right, so let's see what this little cartoon consisted of. And again, he published this in the most recent issue of Charlie Hebdo. I believe it came out last week. And by the way, the author, the creator of this little political cartoon, Charb, or Charb, whatever, however you say it, okay? He was the editorial director of Charlie Hebdo, so he was a very, very high-ranking guy there. I think that's probably the highest ranking in terms of managerial positions at the headquarters there in Paris. So very interesting, okay? So let's read the caption here at the top. Of course, I'm translating it from French to English, but it says, no attacks yet in France. And then let's see what this little terrorist guy says, Muslim extremist terrorist. He says, wait, we have until the end of January to send you New Year wishes, okay? The end of January, and it just so happened a few days later, oh, look what happens, right? Very interesting. There's more evidence other than this suggesting that this incident was actually a false flag.
Then the men turn their attention to a police officer whose image we've obscured. He's injured, but they go on to kill him in cold blood. Leaving the man's lifeless body on the pavement, they then head to a getaway car.
Was seen by them, and he opened fire, shot and wounded, and then he was then finished off. The spot where he fell has already been now marked by candles, by some flowers which have been laid here. This area was largely cordoned off last night, so not many people could have come here, so there's not much sign of presence. You can see the blood on the ground which has been put there. Presence. You can see the blood on the ground which has been put there. Presence. You can see the blood on the ground which has been put there. Which has been put there. Which has been put there. Which has been put there to.
Today we're doing the Charlie Challenge. This challenge sounds fucking stupid.
It looks stupid.
It sounds stupid. It just is stupid. You literally take two fucking pencils and communicate with a Mexican demon named Charlie. Charlie, I'm just guessing here, but are you a nice guy? Oh my god.
Dude, what the fuck? Alright. It was probably...
It had to be the pencil.
No, it was probably the pencil.
It was the pencil. I'm gonna do it again. That had to be the pencil. Charlie, if you're here, that's not a question. Charlie, do you like dogs? Wow.
Charlie does not like dogs. What? Well, it's pencil and paper. Those are to take serious. What? Now let's get something scary, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Charlie. Stupid name. Do you like Johnny?
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Dude, knock the pencil over. Charlie. You dirty girl.
Oh my god. What?
I'm sorry. Okay. Charlie, do you like Brian?
Does he even know who Brian is? Why do you like Brian? Okay, Charlie, why don't... Wait, I can't answer... Oh, dude, this thing sucks.
Charlie, do you... Have you ever killed someone?
Wait. If it's not moving, does that mean yes?
Charlie, do you want to kill Johnny?
What the fuck? Dude, seriously? Brian, I don't know.
Dude.
I don't. Really?
You actually have like a fucking demon on you, dude. Holy shit.
You're not... Dude, this
Okay, well, okay. Let's make it fair. I don't actually think this is real, though.
Why? No.
Do you want to kill both of us? See, I told you it's not real, dude. Oh, shit. Dude. Oh my god.
Brian, seriously, let's just fucking... How do we stop it?
It's like, what's weird is it actually, like...
Moved? Like, a lot?
It seems to be responding.
Should we just end it? Should we just... I don't
want to end it.
We have enough for a video. I don't really want to do it.
How do we end it?
Dude.
Let's ask it one more question.
Why?
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe?
Should we be scared right now?
Brian? No, fuck this, dude.
Mass media uses various forms and degrees of psychological warfare as a means of mind controlling the general population, just like Trayvon Martin and people marching out in the streets. That's media manipulation. You see, the race-based mind control program is designed to access the subconscious mind of those who have been traumatized based upon racial concepts to trigger race-based trauma, in particular in Black people.
What's up, Facebook and YouTube? Brother Sanchez speaking. Recently, me and the brother RFG Chosen One just did a video about the Trayvon Martin incident. We decoded it and broke down the numerology for you guys, explaining the fact that Trayvon Martin's dad was a 33rd degree Mason.
Now, here is some very interesting stuff about old Trayvon Martin. Yes, at Denver Airport, we have a Martin and a Zimmerman name written on the capstone. That is very, very interesting now, isn't it, folks? Considering we know about Denver Airport. Now, the thing is, his father is a Freemason. Trayvon Martin's father is a Freemason, or so they've told us. And have a look at the pictures here. So, as you can see, Masonic is always over these events. Every event we've seen has had the Masonic stamp to it. Now, I don't know whether this is an official picture. This could just be put up, and it's on MSN there, it says. And look at 5 plus 6, 11. And they love their 11s. 6 for man. And he looks like he's in the hangman position. The way that knee's bent. Very interesting. The old yellow tarp. You see these around everywhere. And the 6 seems to be on the other side from this. The way that foot is hanging now, that looks very fake now, doesn't it? So again, another fail from the mainstream media. How can people believe this stuff? A nice blue tie, George. Has been used in Australian media about the importance of blue ties lately, I might add. Now look at this here. A Martin Mars flying boat from 1944. A Martin Mars. And if you watch my last video, you can see where I have stuff on Mars, of course, with Skittles that have been attached to this event. And these are the people from Denver Airport. The Zimmerman family as well. The one's aerospace and the other's metal. Now here's a picture that resembles very definitely Tubal Cain, because that's who's so important to these people. Tubal Cain. That reminds me of a Pink Floyd movie. Lockheed Martin and Zimmerman Metal.
Okay, Jazz, we're ready for you.
Gonna sit right here?
Yeah. Doing good. Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous now.
Just gonna, talk about your life. Just need you to be as relaxed as you can possibly be.
All right. Jazz interview, take one, Mark.
How would you describe yourself?
I am a teenage girl. I'm also a soccer player. I'm also an artist. I'd like to think I'm funny. I love hanging out with my friends. I'm also transgender, and I'm proud of that. But in the end, all these things come together and really just make me Jazz. So I am Jazz.
My name is Tom Shadyac. I'm a movie director.
Action!
Facing my own death brought an instant sense of clarity and purpose. I decided to grab a camera and a film crew of 4 and start a journey to spark a conversation around challenging and rarely asked questions. Have you ever seen any of my movies? Did you ever see Ace Ventura? Ace Ventura? Did you ever hear that movie? It's a Jim Carrey movie. No. We are asking some of today's significant minds, what's wrong with our world and what can we do about it? Most importantly, what we could do about it.
Science has discovered elements that undermine everything we've been told about how we work and how the world works.
We are more interconnected with each other at a fundamental level than people realize or previously thought.
The truth of who we are is that we are because we belong.
The basis of nature is cooperation and democracy. It's in our DNA.
We're just at the point where technology and this narrative are beginning to come together.
The science shows us that we are all connected.
Very deep connections at a very deep level.
This is the most profound discovery in all of physics.
What we do at the individual level really does affect the global environment.
We're really geared at a primordial level to feel what another person feels.
It's like we are born to be our brother's keeper. It's the way that we're wired.
This is the emerging story.
We are far grander than we've been told.